If you know Mike, you know that issues with his body are always complicated and the rarest of the rare. And this time, he one-upped himself. February 2026. Life was good. Michael and Hetty had their house on the market to sell, with plans of moving to Mexico to join their friends who moved there a few years earlier. Those friends were in town for a couple of weeks to visit. Everyone enjoyed meals and game nights. Everything seemed perfect. During this time, Michael had his routine eyes-to-thighs checkup to test for anything abnormal. And there, in the middle of his abdomen, was a lemon-sized tumor. Mike was shocked when he got the news. He'd had cancer before, more than once, and could always tell when something was off. This tumor was more than double the size of his previous ones, but he'd had no indication that anything was off. "Oh well, here we go again," he and his wife Hetty said. Hospital visits were nothing new to them. They'd beaten cancer before. They would do it again. Together. So while they were disappointed, they were taking it all in stride. In early March, Michael occasionally struggled to keep food down, but he still had a pretty typical energy level. A biopsy revealed cancer, but it also stumped the doctors in their pursuit to understand what they were really dealing with. Michael's cancer was so rare that there was no proven strategy for dealing with it. To complicate things further, the tumor was declared inoperable because it enveloped 2 major arteries and a vein. Chemotherapy seemed to be the only course of action. It wasn't what Michael wanted, but he wanted to do whatever it would take to live. As March moved into April, Michael's struggle to keep food down increased to vomiting multiple times per week, and his pain gradually increased. On April 16, his pain was alarming and overwhelming. Hetty took him into the hospital where they were able to manage his pain. They did another MRI and noted that the tumor had grown. This caught the attention of his doctors and they started moving faster. Throughout April, Michael's pain became unbearable and he began vomiting daily. He was hospitalized again for pain and discovered during that stay that the tumor grew 15% in 5 days. On May 5th, he was scheduled for an appointment to determine the chemotherapy schedule. At the appointment, he was vomiting so much that the chemo was put off and he was hospitalized again. A tube was placed down his nose into his stomach to continually drain his stomach contents to keep him from vomiting. 2 days later, he was told by the doctors that he was no longer a candidate for chemotherapy or radiation. His body was just too weak to cope with the treatments. The doctors stated that there was nothing more they could do to fight the cancer. The conversations quickly became about end-of-life plans and hospice care. The goal now was to help Michael get nutrition into his body and keep him comfortable for the remainder of his days. According to the medical team, Michael had about 3 months to live. But while Michael was in the hospital, their friends reached out to people online who said they've helped patients heal after doctors said it wasn't possible. They connected with Absurd Health and found a team with the exact experience and expertise needed to guide Michael through the journey of beating cancer with a terrain-based approach. The doctors at the hospital found a way to put a stent into Michael's stomach to create a bypass around that part of his intestines affected by the cancer. This allowed Michael to finally eat again after 1 whole week of palliative care and involuntary fasting. Today, with the bypass functional and Absurd Health on board, we now have hope for Michael's future. However, his window of opportunity is short because we first need to stabilize and strengthen him before the cancer has a chance to kill him, and then we can focus on shrinking it. We need your help right now to help us get Michael through this process. Michael and Hetty already live a simple life. Michael is on disability, and Hetty, despite being profoundly deaf, doesn't qualify for disability. She's also not able to work throughout this time because she needs to care for Michael. The cost of this treatment will be $5,000 to $7,000 Canadian, which for many people is doable, but for Michael and Hetty, they just don't have it. Some friends have chipped in to get them started, but we're hoping to reach out to more friends with willing hearts. Please join us for this journey. Pray that we can support Michael's health and beat this cancer. And if you're able to contribute financially, every bit helps. Thank you in advance for your love and support.